What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ola here with Ola TV. And on this edition, we've got some more updates on Shiba Inu and also going to talk about the crypto space in general. Guys, the markets are looking great. They're looking green. They're looking delicious. I think right now, this is a perfect opportunity to go ahead and start discussing why Shiba Inu or just crypto in general may be something that you should look into. Here we go. We're going to get started in just a moment. Let's let's get it. All right, guys, it's your boy Ola with Ola TV, and as you can tell by the screen, Shiba Inu to the moon. You already know, is Shiba Inu possibly going to hit 1 penny? Is it possibly going to knock out a zero, maybe two zeros this year? We've been talking about it, since the start of January of this year, and also briefly discussing it last year as well. So I believe that even if we don't hit it right away this year. I think one to two zeros is definitely on the way. But guys, we are officially, I think, in the bullish market. I think we are officially on our way to the 1 penny. Obviously, it's not going to happen in 1 second or 1 minute or 1 day, but there's more indicators as I've seen here that's going to go ahead and let us know that we are getting into a bullish market. We are preparing to go ahead and see Shiba Inu go further on to the moon, to the stars, and beyond. And just want to let you know that if you haven't seen previous videos, um, go ahead and make sure you switch over on your free time to my YouTube channel, the Ola TV official channel. Actually, just Ola TV official. So if you type in youtube.com/, Ola TV official, you will go ahead and get connected to my main YouTube channel. It is one of the many platforms that I go ahead and do content on. And for this one here, you guys, we are getting set to get to the penny mark. I want to go ahead and get started by first showing you what the markets are doing, and then I'm going to show you guys the burns that are happening because there are some Shiba burns that occurred again within the last 24 hours. Also, if you have not caught the previous videos, tune in and catch those videos because I have been posting at least every 24 to 48 hours. And on one of the previous videos that you may see, I think it's an hour and 38 minutes. I could tell you this: it's going to be the best 1 hour and 38 minutes of your life. There's no fluff. There's no clickbait. There's no capping on there. It's just basically giving you all the facts, showing you all the articles, showing you what the whales are doing, showing you the big time purchases, showing you the most recent $1 billion burn. Yes, you heard it right. In one transaction, there was a 1 billion, not $1 billion, excuse me, I take it back, 1 billion Shiba token burn. That has never been done in the history of sheep. We did see some big burns recently. That was 595 million, 400 million, 300 and I think 65 million, and then there was another 300 million. There was two in the 300 mils, one in the 400 million, and then one in the 595 million, which had the internet basically excited, riveting. It almost broke the internet with excitement. But then when the 1 billion Shiba token burn happened on one transaction, I mean, I just went crazy. And I think that's what's causing a lot of people to jump in. That's a little bit of the reason why the market is getting bullish. And the whales have jumped in relatively early, before any of these burns actually started going into effect. So they knew something that the general public didn't know. All right, guys, let's go ahead and switch over to one of my main tabs here. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Give me 1 second here. I always like to show you guys the screen so you guys know what's going on and you guys know that this is reputable information that's being provided. So you guys know that there's no fluff. So here we go, guys. Check it out. Going to my usual spot, CoinGecko. Look at the markets. We've already discussed this. yesterday and I think a few days ago. But guys, the markets are looking even better than what they were yesterday. Bitcoin has officially broken 43,000. Recently, when we checked it, it was at like 42. Before that, it was like at 40, 41. So it is growing up. It is going gradually. It is going up, in slow mo. It's not skyrocketing, but it's going in the direction that we want it to go to, which is the upward direction. So, as you know, anytime that it's going up, that's always a good thing and not a bad thing. Also, Ethereum is still holding at 3,046. I think earlier today it might have broken into 3,100, close to 3,200, if I'm not mistaken. And look at the numbers. You've got all greens here. You've got 4.7% increase in the last 7 days for BTC and 2% in the last 24 hours. 10% for Ethereum. That's huge. 10% in the last 7 days and 3.1 in the last 24 hours. Now, the main topic, as you guys always know, I love to talk about Sheep. But before we jump into Sheep, guys, did you notice that Dogecoin has also been making moves? Look at Doge right here. If you guys have not been paying attention to Doge, remember, I have been discussing Doge in previous live streams. I haven't gone full in depth, but I have told you that Dogecoin to me is still a sleeper. I have told you that AMC uses them as a form of payment transaction. I believe it's either in BitPay or now payments. I think it's in BitPay where they're accepting Dogecoin, and I believe they're also accepting Sheep there as well, which I believe I discussed in a previous live stream. And if I didn't, now you know. Also, guys, take into account that Dogecoin is still being used with the Dallas Mavericks, which is the NBA team. And so that's why I always say follow the money moves, the power moves, and follow who? The whales. And guys, if you're looking at it here, look at the screen. Look at Dogecoin. Okay, Dogecoin right now has gone up. If you're not paying attention to it, you probably didn't notice it went up because obviously it's not skyrocketing, but it did go up. It was holding between 11 and 12 cents. Like it kept keeping that consolidation. It wasn't making any moves. It wasn't doing anything serious. But look at it now. Dogecoin is officially at 13 cents, 13.8. Excuse me, 0.138. So that's 13, that's almost 14 cents. If you round it up, that's almost 14 cents. So it's essentially almost gone up about 1.5 to 2 pennies on the value. And if you look to the right, check this out, all green all day for Doge. 2.1% within the last 1 hour, 13.1% within the last 24 hours. So 13% within the last 24 hours is huge. And look at the number on the far right, right here in the center, 18.5% in the last 7 days. So somebody's paying attention to Doge because clearly the fact that the value has gone up is an indicator that Dogecoin is not dead. It still has some life. It may be on life support, but I tell you what, I think it's going to revive and recover from life support because too many people are jumping back in. Here's another indicator that will tell you if you're not familiar. So if we scroll to the top of the charts, right? Check this out. You go to the top of the charts. This one says 24-hour volume and market cap, the two on the farthest right. So now let's scroll down back to Doge. If you scroll down back to Doge, look at the volume, the recent volume, 1,404,000,000. No, excuse me, not trillion. Let me back that up. 1,404,748,003 dollars. So essentially, there is $1.5 billion US dollars, $1.5 billion floating around, or it might not all be US. Let me take that back as well. But essentially $1.5 billion is being traded with Dogecoin right now as we speak. This is in real time. I've just refreshed the page before I started this live stream. So if you take a look at that, if Dogecoin wasn't going to be a serious coin, guys, there's no reason why it would have that much money flowing into it. You know what I'm saying? Again, what I always say, power moves, money moves, whales. You always got to follow those three indicators. And obviously, Dogecoin is here to stay. And guys, of course, the man of the hour, the show of the hour, you guys already know who we're going to talk about. Shiba Inu, the GOAT, greatest of all time, best coin out there, in my opinion. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how great the other projects are. Not to say that I don't have projects in other coins, but Shiba Inu is the GOAT. Before I jump into Shiba Inu, really quick, did you notice that Dogecoin actually jumped one spot up in the top 15? Because if you guys remember, if you look back at my other videos, it's the BUSD, which is the Binance USD. That one was at 12 for a pretty good amount of time. It had bumped Dogecoin. Now it seems that people have been taking their money out of BUSD and they're putting it into coins because I think based on the indicators we're going into a bullish market. And based on what the whales have been doing, I think this is going to be the beginning of the bullish market. Now, look, Dogecoin is now sitting at number 12. So it jumped up one spot in the top 15, which is phenomenal. So that also lets you know that Dogecoin is here to stay and it's not dead. No matter what people think and no matter how low key it's been for almost a year, that coin is going to end up sparking up again. So I still have Doge. I may not have a extravagant amount, but I do have a good amount, so I'm happy with what I have. But again, back to the man of the hour, the one that you guys love to hear about, the one that you guys know is my favorite of all time. We are going to Shiba Inu now. If you guys think this coin is not serious business, let's look at the numbers. First of all, look at the value. Four zeros and then 2516. If you've been watching my videos or if you've been watching the markets or paying attention, you guys know that the consolidation level was point four zeros and then it was like 2245 or 22. That 22 range is where the markets have stayed stagnant. And if you've noticed, when I did the last video, she was at point 0.000023 and some other and the other two digits, I forgot what's after that. Then in recent news, now that we're looking at it today, on March 24, 2022, and right now on Eastern time, it is 5:21 a.m. as we speak. The current markets are still showing that it is doing good, and it looks like everything is green. So within the past 1 hour, within the last 60 minutes, it's had a 1.1% increase. So 1% increase in the last 1 hour, then within the last day, so within the last 24 hours, this middle number right here is the indicator, 7.2%. So you know people are jumping in because in the last 24 hours, the value of Shiba has gone up 7%, 7.2 to be exact. And if you look at here, and you know we've been watching this day after day, week after week, month after month, 10.5% in the last 7 days. So think about it, guys. If you would have invested $100, you would have got back 10. If you would have invested $1,000 and left it in there for a week, you would have made an easy $100. And if you would have invested 10,000, that would have been an easy $1,000 just for holding it for 7 days. So just to paint that picture for you, you know what I'm saying? Again, I am not a financial advisor. I tell you guys this in every video. This is not financial advice for you. Anything that you do invest, of course, will be at your own risk. I am not liable for any of the risks that you take or any losses that you may, incur. So just want to let you know you do have to put on risk what you think is beneficial to you, what you think is suitable based on your portfolio. And that's why I always have the disclaimer so that if you guys ever run into a situation where it doesn't go the way you thought, you can't blame me. I'm just giving you the indicators, the green flags, the movement of the whales, the power moves, etc. But again, I am not a financial advisor. Any investments that you do make is your sole responsibility. And always remember that not paid, excuse me, past performances are not indicative of future results, outcomes, profits, etc. So always do what's feasible and optimal for your own portfolio because again, I am not a financial advisor. I just give you my opinion, give you the facts, give you the stat sheets, and you guys just choose from there. But anyways, now that we're done with the disclaimer, which is on the bottom of the screen and also provided it to you verbally, um, the next thing that I want you guys to look at is again looking at the numbers, right? So if we're looking at the numbers and we're looking at the numbers here, so let's go to the two numbers that I don't often speak about, but it is also a good indicator for you to let you know if it's worth your time. So if you look at Sheep, just like we just looked at Doge's numbers, Sheep excuse me, Sheep has a flowing amount right now of 1,043,400 and I mean it's 43,458,445. Excuse me, guys. For some reason, I keep getting tongue tied over the numbers. I don't know if it's excitement. I don't know if it's just me feeling drowsy today for some reason. But usually, I just have these numbers, easy to be able to tell you what it is. I mean, obviously, you can see it on the screen, but I like to verbally state it to just kind of open your mind to how much is being invested and traded into the volume. So within the last 24 hours for Shiba Inu, the volume is relatively close to Doge. If you look back up here again at number 12, where Doge is at, Doge has $1.4 billion right now in trading volume in the last 24 hours. And then if you go down here to number 15, Sheep, it has $1.04 billion. So essentially, they're pretty close. They're only the only thing that separates them is about I would say 399 $399 million approximately. So let's just say 400. That's really the difference between the two is about 400, maybe 350 million, right? So there is a lot of trading volume going on in Sheep, and there's a lot of trading volume going on in Doge. So that has to be two big indicators to let you know where people are flowing and throwing their money. Because look, if I scroll down to number 17, Crow, this is another great coin, by the way. If you guys do your own research, I actually have Crow too, CRO, the crypto.com coin is now called Chronos, by the way. It's no longer called crypto.com name. They changed it recently. I think it was earlier this year. Uh, they're up 4% in the last 24 hours, and they're up 8.3% in the last 7 days. But look at the volume. Their volume is a lot smaller, 92 million. It's not even in the billions. It's not even at nine figures. Although this is a very, very big amount of money, I'm not going to say it's not. But compared to Shiba Inu and Doge, I mean, look at the volume for Crow, CRO, right here, number 17. Look across 92 million, 968,951. So it's a much smaller increment. So you know where the money's going. It's going to sheep, and you know where else it's going. It's going to Doge. So those are the two big coins. Obviously there's other coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin where people are also throwing their money as well, and as well as the stable coins and things of that nature. But if you guys look at Sheep and Doge, that's letting you know that those two coins are still running the show. Those two coins are still doing big things. Those two coins are gonna be not only short-term gains, but also potentially long-term gains. Those two are going to be the future of many, many partnerships, many payments, many availabilities for payment processors. Uh, those two coins, I still have a lot of faith. And I've been having faith in both of these coins, even when it tanked last year. But as you know, my number one favorite, greatest of all time, will still be Sheep because Sheep has, it has proven the test of time. Has it had dips? Of course. Has it had some tanking every now and then? Of course. But it has never gone back to five zeros. If you notice, it has stayed four zeros even when they had the executive, the whole thing with Joe Biden with the potential executive bill being passed, and they kept delaying it. I think the only reason why they kept delaying it, they try to use the excuse because of the war with, across overseas. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with they want to delay it because they want to impact the markets negatively. Because anytime that you mention something that can scare people away from crypto, and typically, if it's going to impact your taxes or how much money you can earn, etc., people are going to run, and that's what caused the fear at the beginning of this year. Was that, and also at the latter part of last year, because at the end of the year last year is when the rumors actually started that the bill was going to pass. So that is the main reason why a lot of people jumped off in the months of November, December of 2021, which was 5 months ago, and then also January and February, or mostly January, and then a little bit of the early February part. People were still kind of nervous. But now you're noticing that now that all that nonsense is out of the news, people are noticing that you see that they're feeling a lot safer. They feel more confident. As you can see, Sheep is getting rewarded because of that. Sheep is going through its bullish market. So I think it's going to be a bullish opportunity, not only for Sheep and Doge, but just with the markets in general. Because look, if I scroll to the top and we go all the way to the bottom, look at what we have. BTC, which is Bitcoin, green. Ethereum, green. USDT is just a stable coin, so that doesn't change. That's always going to be stagnant. Binance, look, it went up a few dollars on pricing. I think it was like 406 or 402. Last time I did a stream is at 412. All greens there. USDC is another stable coin, so that's not really going to do much. XRP, it's that one is super unreliable because it's still going through a lot of like regulations and still going through stuff with court. So I don't really mess with that one too much. But it's green at the moment. Look at this one, ADA, aka Cardano, up 17.5% in the last 24 hours. And in the last 7 days, it is up 35.8%. Holy sheesh. Can you believe 35.8%? So 36%. That means for every $100 you would have invested, you would have earned $36 back. For every $1,000 you would have invested, you would have earned back $360 for that 7 day period. For every $10 you would $10,000 you would have invested, you'd have got back 3,600. So guys, huge. The markets are clearly showing green. Look, let's go down. Luna, green. Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, Doge. BUSD is another one of those. I think it's another stable coin. Same for UST. And then, of course, granddaddy of them all, Sheep. And if you keep going down, look, Crow, Polymatic, um, LTC, Litecoin. That's all in the green. So market's looking good. Market's looking juicy, and that's why I'm telling you, if you're gonna invest, now may be the time to get in before everything starts skyrocketing. And of course, you know who's my favorite. Number one, Shiba Inu. That's always going to be my number one. Now, guys, let's go to my other favorite page. You guys know what it is, the Sheep burn. So you guys can see more proof that there has been more recent burns. And holy crap, it just refreshed on me, which is a good thing. It literally just refreshed, guys. And I cannot believe the numbers because I was looking at it on my cell phone prior to this live stream, and the numbers have absolutely skyrocketed again. So check this out. If you guys remember the last time that we were on this page, the market cap right here, this amount was at about 12 was it 12 billion, I believe it was. Yeah, it was 12. It was about 12 billion 600 and something thousand. I mean 600 and something million. Excuse me again. I'm messing the numbers up. But anyways, it was at 12 billion 600 million. Now it's at 13 billion 814 million. So essentially, there has been about 1.2 billion dollars dumped into um, Shiba Inu, and that's just on Sheep. That's not talking about the overall market. So imagine how much the overall market is, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the overall market cap has gone up to, I think it's like 2.0 or 2.1 trillion for all the coins in total. But we're going back to Sheep here because that's my favorite one. So look at this number. If you look back at old videos, and not even old videos, if you look back at yesterday's video, the day before, and the earlier ones this week, it was at 12.6. It's not at 13.8. So Sheeb has essentially increased their market cap. And then if you look at the sheep price, this one, the last time we checked it, these four digits were 24 something, then it was like 23 something and 22 something, but mostly 22 something. It's been holding at that 25 marker for the past 24 to 36 hours because I've been watching it pretty close on my cell phone. And then, guys, this is the indicator that lets you know that sheep is serious, because I check this one right here, volume, the last 24 hours. When we did a video recently on this one, the last time that we did a video, or 2 videos ago, I should say 2 or 3 videos ago, that number was like 686 million. something like that. It was over 600 million. Then when I did a recent video, I think it was closer to 7, and then all of a sudden it skyrocketed. If you check my last video, I don't even think the last video, the most recent video that I posted like 12 hours ago or 24 hours ago, I don't even think that video showed the skyrocketing yet of the volume. But look at the volume. It's at in the last 24 hours, there's 1.08 billion dollars in the last 24 hours. So think about that for a second. Okay? That matches pretty much what we've been looking at on the other screen that I showed you on CoinGecko. It's showing you that people are investing a lot of money into Shiba Inu because CoinGecko has over 1 billion, and the Shiba website also has over 1 billion, showing in volume trading in the last 24 hours. So think about that. If this coin was not going to be worth anything, why is the volume increased within the last 1 to 2 days? Why has the volume increased by about 300 million, about 300 to 320 million roughly in trading volume within 24 to 48 hours? Because it was initially over 600 million. It's over a billion now within the last 1 to 2 days, maybe even less than that, maybe within the last 12 to 24 hours. So that's huge. Again, power moves, money moves, whales, always going to be big indicators. If you don't follow the whales, not a problem. You can just follow 2 out of the 3 indicators that I'm telling you. Money moves, power moves. Those are big moves right there. When you see not only the market cap has gone up, but when you see in the last 24 hours, the volume has exponentially increased by $320 million more being traded. Come on, man. The proof is in the pudding. I say it all the time. The proof is in the pudding. And you guys know this is the official SheBurn website and the official CoinGecko websites. So you know I ain't fluffing, I ain't capping, and you know that I am not here to make this, like the 1 penny thing is like unreachable. I think when Shiba Inu first came out, if you thought the 1 penny was unreachable, that's possible. If you thought the 1 penny was never going to happen, I could agree with you on that. But what we've done, and I've shown you in so many previous videos, and I'm going to show you even more some new burns that are recently happening within the past 12 to 24 hours. These are new burns. These are not the same burns that I showed you last time. Brand new burns. Some of them you already see on the screen, so I can't even surprise you with all of them just yet. But you see one of the big ones on the screen already. But you guys remember the biggest one that I showed you was the 1 billion coin burn, 595 million burn, and then the other ones I showed you was over 300. There was 2 of them that were over 300 mil, and then one of them was also over 400 mil. We got some more. I don't know if we have any in the billions, but I know we've got a couple here in the 8 and 9 figure range, which is so damn good because that means that people are working as a community and we are coming to get together to become the future millionaires, near future, not future as in 10, 20 years from now, future millionaires within the next 2 to 3 years minimum, 5 years max. I don't think it would take us more than 5, just with Shiba alone, with crypto in general, but just with Shiba alone. If you're doing your due diligence, if you're doing your research, and if you're using the facts and the education and not basing it on emotions, you should be a future millionaire. Again, I am not a financial advisor. I cannot predict the future. I do not know, if the markets will go up, go down, crash, skyrocket. But I follow the trends, the numbers, the money moves, the power moves, and the whales. So, guys, without further ado, let's get you excited even more, and let's get you into the sheep burns because this is what always excites me. Yes, I love to see the whales jump in. Yes, I love to see the market cap go up. Yes, I love to see the value go up. And yes, of course, I love to see the 24 hours, drive up exponentially. The trading volume, which is huge, to be in a $1 billion trading volume for Shiba Inu, to have increased $320 million of trading volume within the last 12 to 24 hours. Massive. I mean, massive. That is just huge. But anyways, guys, let's get to the burns. My favorite part of the show, favorite part of talking about sheep. Boom, you already see the first one 8 hours ago. Okay, 8 hours ago. This is for me based on Eastern time. So that would have been, let me see, it's about to be 6 a.m. So well, it's 5:40, but I'll just say 6 a.m. Round it up. So around 10 p.m. Massive burn. 10 p.m. my time because I'm on Eastern. Massive, massive burn, guys. Look at this. Holy moly guacamole. Holy moly donut shop. 168,944,352. Holy crap, dude. If you round it up, that's about 169 or 170 million coins gone, dead, out of circulation. Peace. Sayonara. Never coming back. Holy moly guacamole. That's huge. Because if you remember the last time I showed you a lot of massive transactions similar to that one. I've shown you some bigger than that one. I've actually shown you 4 or 5 of them even larger than that. But the fact that the momentum, this is what gets me excited. It's not just the fact that we're seeing that big transaction, it's the fact that it's becoming more and more common. It's becoming a thing where it's almost like a trend. It's almost like normal now to see 9 figures, 8 figures, 7 figure coin burns. Like typically, this is not supposed to be something normal, but because so many people are putting in the time, the effort to buy coins and burn them, whether it be through mobile apps, whether it be through video games, whether it be through merchandising, whether it be through playlisting from YouTube or Spotify revenues, things of that nature. Everybody's coming together, bro, and it's working. And this is what I'm excited about because all this rumors and hypes and speculations is not coming into fruition because everyone is spreading the word like wildfire. And that is beautiful because that is showing us that the community is here to stay. Sheep Army is here to stay. And we are going to continue fighting and propelling to get to the 1 penny mark. So, guys, the first transaction of today's newest burn updates is 168, almost 169 million coins. There's two commas. Two commas. Holy crap. That's already phenomenal. Now let's go to the next one. 12 hours ago, which is 4 hours after this one, 1 million coins. And I'll tell you what, guys, 1 million coins. I know probably a couple weeks ago or maybe a couple months ago, 1 million coins probably sounded like a lot. And I know now it doesn't sound like a lot because of all these larger increments, but we're going to take it. We are going to take it because 1 million coins is 1 million coins. And if you're doing that every single day or you're doing that every couple of hours, that's going to, like I always tell you, that's going to add up. Every small amount, every large amount is going to add up. 1 million coins is still a lot to me. Most people only own like 3 million coins at this point. Some people only own like 2 million coins. Some people only own like 5 million coins. There's not a lot of people that own 10 million coins and above and are holding. I can tell you, I am one of the people that has more than 10 million coins, and I am holding it all the way to a penny, maybe even 5 cents, 10 cents, maybe even a dollar. But for sure, at the bare minimum, I'm going at least to a penny, riding this all the way to the penny mark, at least. Will I cash everything out? Probably not, because I still believe that with all these burns, we may even potentially hit one day 5 cents, 10 cents, or a dollar. Now, that might be more distant into the future. That might be more like a 4 year, 5 year plan on that one. But honestly, I believe we can still get there. But check this out, guys. Check this out. The next transaction 1 hour, 1 hour later, look at this. 13 hours ago, 13,820,709. So you've got a 168.9 million transaction. Then you got a 1 million even transaction. and then you've got a 13.82 million. So if you count those, that right there, just with those, that's close. That's very, very close to being about 180, 190 million coins. That's almost 200 million coins, guys, in total. That's insane. That's crazy insane. Guys, give me 1 second here. Let me go ahead and just plug in the charger to my laptop because honestly, I don't know what's going on today. Usually I'm on the ball game, and today, I don't know. I just been tongue twisted and also forgetting to do a few things here. So give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go ahead and plug the charger so we can continue the live stream. The live stream will not be turned off, so don't leave. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, testing 1 2. I am back. I am back. All right. So yeah, just had to grab the charger real quick. Thank you for patiently waiting. Sorry about that. Usually I have all the equipment set up, but today has just been a little bit of a nightmare trying to get everything set up. But nonetheless, back to what we were talking about. So yeah, so 13.82 million on that transaction. The next one below it is 1,550,000. By the way, these are all new transactions. None of these are duplicates from the last videos. So if you go back to the other videos, you'll see that I'm not duplicating any of these transactions. Plus, you can check this on your own because this is on the sheburn.com website. So it's not a website I created. I don't own the website. I don't monitor the website. I don't run it. I have nothing to do with the website. It is just, an exclusive website for Shiba. Every time that there's burns, Shiba, has those transactions pretty much posted and updated. So that's run through, I guess the owner of Sheep. I've got nothing to do with it. I just give you guys the updates. So all right, back to action. After the 1,550,000, the next one is 250K. The next one is another 1 million even. The next one is 213K. The next one is 5 million, and then the next one is 5.1 million. So, just to let you guys know, I do remember where I stopped from the last video. And if you guys recall the last time that I did it, I stopped right here. That's the one that was yesterday, which was 16,851,708. Okay. So, if we just do some quick math here, guys, you've got 5 and 5 is 10, right? Plus 1, so it's 10.1. You add this one in, that's no, it's just 213K, that's about 10.3. You add 1 mil even, that's about 11.3. You add this one in here, that's going to make it about 11.5, 11.6. Add this one here. You're looking at, let's see, about 1.55. So you're looking at about 13 mil, 13.1. Then you add this amount here, 13.82. What I'm doing is just adding all the numbers on the right together. So I'm at 13.1, and you add 13.82. That's going to give you about 26 point, let's see, 26.92. And then you add this 1 million. So that's 27.92. And then you add this big one right here. So 27.92. Let's see. You've got 27. I'm doing this all in my brain, by the way. I'm not even doing this on paper, and I'm not even doing this on calculator. So I'm just doing approximates, but the approximates will be pretty close. So before adding this big one, pause, no pun intended. Uh, I was at 27.92. Okay, so let me see. 2 and 4 is a 6. 9 and 9 is a 8. So that's 86. We carry the 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 and 7 is 6. Carry the 1. Six and one is seven, plus the two is nine. So essentially, guys, in the last what is this? 24 hours? Yeah, it's about the last 24 hours because I just did this one yesterday. It's probably less than 24 hours to be honest, but we'll say in the last 24 hours. Yeah, because this one says 21. So yeah, so in the last 21 to 24 hours, guys, with the burns that you just seen here, the latest burns transactions, if you add that all up, you're looking at essentially about 196.86 196.86. Yeah, that's what sounds about right. 196.86 uh new 196.86 million coins burned. I did this in the top of my brain, just adding it up. But yeah, if you add up the numbers, it should be pretty close to that. So it should be 196,860,000. It's not going to be an even number, but that's an approximate number. So think about that. Almost 200 million new coins in the last 24 hours. Think about that, guys. 200 million coins in the last 24 hours, in the most recent 24 hours. And the biggest chunk of that is this one, 8 hours ago, 168,944K. If you do 200 million coins a day, which I know that sounds like an astronomical number and it sounds like an unbelievable number, and it sounds like, yo, there's no way we're going to be able to keep this pace, but we are. Because the thing is that we're still in the beginning stages of what sheep burn is, what's going on with the sheep burns and the sheep coin. Because if you look at it like this, again, the partnerships that they have with wellies is still in the early steps. Once that franchise for the chicken sandwich location in Italy starts making transactions, they're going to start burning coins if they haven't started already. That's a partnership that they have. Shibarium still hasn't been released, and I always emphasize Shibarium because once Shibarium is released, that coin, not even, let me not say that coin, this coin, because I love this coin, it's gonna skyrocket because of the fact that there's not gonna be enough supply to meet the demand. There's not gonna be enough coins. There's gonna be so many. If you think this is something, wait till Shibarium is released. So imagine Shibarium and then simultaneously all the different companies and catalysts that are burning coins right now as we speak. Because all of these coins that are burning have nothing to do with Shibarium. Shibarium is not even out yet. And I say this every video because I want you to think about that. It's a big truth, a big fact. And think about that for a sec. All these coins that are being burned by the use of video games, mobile apps, metaverses, things some of them might be burning through NFT sales. I'm not sure because I don't follow NFT as much, even though that is a good market as well. A lot of these burns are coming through people who are using their Spotify revenue and their YouTube revenue and buying coins and burning them themselves. There's so many different catalysts. We are not even yet close to the finish line. We barely even started the race. And look at how many coins we're burning. We burned close to 200 million today. We had a coin not too long. I mean, excuse me. We had a transaction not too long ago that was 1 billion coins by itself. Then, if you remember from the previous video that I did, when I added it all up, I did the first 6 pages. It was 2.2 billion coins burned, showing within the first 6 pages. If I would have went and counted the amount for the next 3 pages, if you remember from the previous video, the next 3 pages, every transaction, pretty much 99% of those transactions were 7 figures or 8 figures, and some were even 9 figures because I counted 2.2 billion from page 1 to page 6. But from page 7 to page 10, not only was every transaction between 7 to 9 figures of coins, but if you also look at it, it had the 595 million, the 400 million, and then the two of 300. So if I was to go and count all of those, that essentially, with just those 3 pages, could be another 2 to 3 billion more coins. So essentially, if you count from the she burn pages, because these pages are probably endless, but if you did them, if you did the 6 pages that I did, and then the next 3 or 4 pages, pages 7, 8, 9, and 10, showing all those transactions, I can assure you that that's going to equal about 5 billion total. Because I got to 2.2 on the first 6 pages. And that's not even counting, again, the other four transactions that were 9 digits. There were hundreds of millions of coins burned. So if you think about that, guys, we are burning hundreds of millions of coins every single day. Every single day, there's different catalysts burning hundreds of millions of coins. We just did the math. We got to 196.86 million. So there's no fluff, there's no puff, no capping. All facts, hard facts. You know what I'm saying? It's all here. It's all concrete. It's all digital evidence, but it's all concrete evidence. There's no reason to lie to you, to scam you, or anything like that. Plus, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is for educational purposes only. But if you do decide to invest, yet again, I've got to tell you, money moves, power moves, and whales. It's going to show you. And if you're keeping an eye on the Coin Gecko and you're seeing everything, or Coin Market Cap is another one that people use. But however you're looking at your crypto, make sure it's one of the two main websites, or you're not going to one of those scam websites. But I generally use Coin Gecko. I used to use Coin Market Cap a lot. But anyways, either one of those two are reputable websites. And if you're paying attention again to those markets, you're paying attention to the market caps, you're paying attention to those percentages showing green, 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 the 1 hour mark, 24-hour mark, and 7 day markers. If you're also looking at the individual 24-hour volume of trading, for example, SHEEP went over 320 million in just 24 hours in trading volume. If you're paying attention to the green flags and the indicators, and you're being smart, and you're doing your due diligence, then you're taking what's called a calculated risk, right? It's still your sole responsibility, but at least you're taking a calculated risk, which means that you're doing an educated risk. So whether you win, lose, or draw, you did it based on, you know, the numbers, the economics. You did it based on your own personal finances, and you didn't do stupid things based on emotion or based on what other people are saying, or you didn't base it on, a current trend. You based it on cold hard facts. And these are the facts, guys. It doesn't matter if the market starts to crash again tomorrow. Shiba burns are going to keep happening. The sheep burns are going to keep going. There's only a matter of time before we knock out 1 trillion coins, 2 trillion coins, 3 trillion. That sounds like a lot, but think about it. When these burns first started, people were doing small burns, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million. At that, months ago or even a year ago, you would have thought 1 million coins burned in one transaction was impossible. You would have thought that was never going to happen. In the last one or two videos, including this one, so in the last two or three videos that I've done for Sheep and for crypto, I've shown you the proof. I've shown you that how exponentially the burns have gotten. We're not just doing 500,000 burns anymore. We don't have, these companies and entities and catalysts and average Joes just burning 1 million coins. This thing is 2 million. I've shown you guys in the previous video. And by the way, if you want to see the previous video, check them out. I've got them on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. 4 platforms, 6 channels. They're all there. So go check them out. But if you go to YouTube, for sure, all the videos are going to be listed there. Think about that, though. Think about that for a sec. We used to think 1 million coins, that's not reachable. That's not doable. That's not possible. Then people were like, yeah, we need to start doing 10 mil. Now we're burning 100 million coins. The proof is right there on the top one, 168 million plus. Nobody ever thought we were going to get to a point where this would be consistent. And that's the key word, consistency. Nobody thought that was going to happen. We've already had 5 or 6 transactions in the last 5 days that are 9 figures, that are basically hundreds of millions of coins. When we've had our most recent one, we never thought 1 billion coins would be possible. I never thought that would be possible. I thought we would, burn maybe 10 million at a time, 5 million at a time, maybe 20. But to think 100 million on one transaction, 168 million, 1 billion, 595 million, not even I thought that that was going to be possible. I thought maybe we would get to, 10 million a day sounds reasonable. 20 million sounded reasonable. But even then, that sounded like a joke to many people. Not only did that sound like a joke, but many people thought this coin was a joke. This coin is not a joke, my friends. This coin is real. This coin is legit. This coin is still top 15. And I give Sheeb maybe another month or two before it's back in the top 13, top 12. Because you've seen Doge. Doge was holding strong at 13, and now it's at 12. Why? Because they put in money back into Doge, just like they've been putting money back into Sheeb. Telling you, man, it's not about excuse me, it's not about predicting the markets. Predicting the markets, you will probably fail 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10. You know how you do it? You conduct your research. And then you know how you do it? Something that I haven't mentioned in a while, but I used to mention in many videos before. You do cost averaging. If your current coins, if you bought them at a higher value and you see that they dipped, what do I always tell you? Your coins are on sale. Your coins are on clearance. Your coins are on discount. What does that mean? That means that if you have the opportunity to invest more, that's the time to invest. That way, if you bought, now let me just give hard figures just as an example. Let's say you bought a coin at $2. You bought 100 shares at $2 a piece. And then a month later, it goes down to 50 cents a share in the crypto. I'm not talking about stocks here, I'm talking about crypto. 50 cents a coin. Are you going to just sell? Some people do that. They sell it low, which is dumb. Sorry to say it, but it is dumb because you essentially are losing $1.50 per crypto coin. Why the hell would you sell it low? Why not? If you're gonna actually sell, why not wait till it goes back up again, right? But some people again, the fear gets bad. People get nervous, and what do? They end up, they end up, leaving. But let's go back to the numbers. You bought 100 coins, 100 crypto coins, or let's just say one coin of 100 shares at $2 a piece, drop to 50 cents, a coin next month. That's the perfect time for you to buy if you want to reinvest. Because what's going to happen is that if you buy another 100 coins at 50 cents, your average now between the $2 and the 50 cents, which we can do it on the calculator real quick. I'll pull up a calculator just to make sure that what I'm doing in my mind is doing the accurate numbers. So the way you take the cost averaging is you take the two numbers, then you divide it by the amount, the increments of the values of what you purchased, and then that's how you get to figure if you should invest or not. This is how cost averaging works. So to explain this in a better term, so let's say you have $2 and then it goes down to 50 cents. Now you take $2 plus 50 cents, that's $2.50. You divide that by two, you're at $1.25. So what that tells you is for cost averaging, it's basically like if you're averaging test scores in school. That's how you got to look at it, right? And if you didn't pass math or you don't know what averages are, I'll explain it. So if you have a certain amount of scores, you add up the scores first, then you divide it by the number of tests, right? And then that gives you your average. So in this situation, you're not dividing it by 100. So let's not get confused here. 100 is how many shares you bought the first time for $2, and then 100 shares is what you bought the second time, okay, for 50 cents. So you've done two sets of transactions. So first you take the total, which is $2 from the first set, 50 cents from the second set. You add those values because that's the value of the coin. So $2 a coin. Now you're buying it at the cheap price for 50 cents a coin. And now you're at $2.50. You divide that by how much? By two, because you've bought two sets of transactions. Okay. You don't do it by 100. Now you take 250, $2.50 divided by two. That leaves you with $1.25. Now let's do another one just to kind of clarify even more so you understand what I'm saying. Let's say you bought your first 100 coins for sheep. Let's say sheep was worth $2 as an example, which we know it's not, but let's say it was worth $2 for your first 100 that you bought. Then you bought it dipped, so then you bought your next 100 coins at 50 cents, and then let's say you bought your next set of coins at 75 cents. So if you add $2 plus 50 cents plus 75 cents. That gives you $3.25. How much are you going to divide that by now? Three, because you have three sets of transactions. Your first one was at the $2 margin, your second one was at the 50-cent margin, and then your third one was at the 75-cent, margin. And when I say margin, I, I'm using the wrong word. I should say value of the coin. So you bought your coin at $2, you bought the coins at 50 cents, and you bought the coin at 75 cents. So what's that? That's three different values. So you take those, you add those three values up. In this scenario that I painted for you, is $3.25. Then you divide it by how much? This time you divide it by three, not by two. You divide it by three because you've purchased it at three different values. So now you get your average is $1.08. So anything under $1.08, if you decide to do a four, like another set of transactions to reinvest again, the next time you buy, the fourth time, you would invest $1.08. That's going to be your cost averaging. So you don't want to go above it. You want to either equal or go under. That's how you would do it. Okay. So hopefully that painted a picture for you on cost averaging. I've never really described it before. I kind of just always talked about it, but I never really mentioned it. In fact, you know what? I always end up doing this on my calculator, and I end up speaking it verbally. I never actually have shown it on screen. Let's do, and the reason why is because I don't like to share the entire computer. I just want to share the specific, tabs. But I just remembered online calculator. So let's go to the online calculator so you guys can see what the heck I'm talking about. So this doesn't sound like rocket science, right? So let's do it right here. Let's use both scenarios. Let's start with scenario one. Scenario one was, I said you bought it at $2, and then the next time you bought it at 50 cents. So 0.5, right? That equals $2.50, right? That's when you add the two up. So you bought 100 coins at $2, and then a month later it dipped. So you bought another 100 coins at 50 cents because you're being smart, because you want to make sure you do cost averaging. So before you make that purchase of the 50 cents, if you want to make sure is it going to make sense, you add those two numbers up, and then once you get the 2.5, you're going to divide it by 2, right? And that's how you get $1.25. So if you look at $1.25, and if you're saying, oh, the coin is at 50 cents, does it make sense to reinvest now? The answer would be yes. Could it potentially maybe go down a little bit more? Maybe you want to wait. You could, but then in 24 hours, it could skyrocket above your cost average amount, and then you end up not profiting. And you know that with the volatility in crypto, it's a lot different than regular stocks. It's not like stocks, it's not on the stock exchange. That's why they call it the block exchange. It's a lot different, a lot more volatile. So it can go from 50 cents to $1.25 in a matter of seconds, minutes, or hours. So do you want to wait for it to dip even more? I wouldn't. You've already got it at a great value. If you're getting it at 50 cents a coin, and you on your first 100 transactions has spent $2 per coin, and now it's at 50 cents a coin, and your cost average is $1.25, that's a no-brainer. If I told you right now, yo, I'm gonna sell you a sandwich for $2, and then next month I can sell it to you for 50 cents, the same sandwich, same topping, same cold cut, same everything. Nothing changed, same ingredients. Are you gonna buy it? If you're hungry, hell yeah, you're probably gonna buy more than that. You're probably gonna buy maybe two of them. Because even at a rate of buying two of them, 50 cents plus 50 cents is only $1. So in that situation, you might be able to buy double. You might be able to buy double for half the price. That's why I say discount, clearance, on sale. Because that's what I mean by that, by cost averaging. Now let's do another scenario. Let's use $2 again plus 50 cents. And then let's say that the next the now you're going into month number 3, and it went up a little bit. 75 cents. That was the other scenario that I used with the three increments. So let's say it went up to 75 cents. You're like, "Oh, is it's under $2, which is what I paid for my first month of coins, but it's above 50 cents. Is it still worth it? Is it still going to make sense? Well, here you go. Month number 1 is $2. That's what you already have. Month number 2, you bought another 100 coins, but you bought them at 50 cents. And now month 3, this is the new price. So you take your first set of numbers that you already have you already have that bought, and then this is your new value for that coin. All right, so let's take that. That's where I got $3.25. And then how many did we use? How many values? We used three values on this one. That's why you divide it by three. And now you have what I said earlier, $1.08. I'm not counting all those threes because, you know, that's $1.08. In crypto, they'll count after that, but I'm just trying to make it simplified. So $1.08, right? So if you think about that, anything under $1.08 means that that's your average. That's your cost average. So yeah, it's is it higher than 50 cents? Yes. Is it higher than what you invested in month number 2? Yes. But is it higher than what you invested in month number 1? The answer is still yes. So if you're gonna reinvest, those are the two things you want to take into consideration. First, do your cost average, see where your cost average is. In this case, the cost average is $1.08. And then look at what is the highest amount you've paid on that coin. So in this scenario, it would have been $2 because month number 1 was $2. Month number 2 was 50 cents. So you have a range of your lowest and highest that you would want to pay for that coin. And then you did your cost averaging, which is you took all three figures divided by three, and you got $1.08. So essentially, anything between 50 cents, or if it's less than 50 cents, you definitely got to buy in. But now, again, I'm not a financial advisor, it's not financial advice, but I'm just saying we're using this scenario. So anything between 50 cents, which is the lowest that you paid on the dip, and between $1.08 is a deal. It's still a deal, it's still a discount, and it's still going to fit your cost averaging because $1.08 is higher. So tell me what's higher. If you're paying $1.08 for gas or 75 cents for gas, which by the way, gas is crazy right now. It's nowhere near those numbers, but just using that as an example. Would you rather pay 75 cents a gallon for gas or would you rather pay $1.08 a gallon for gas? You're going to say 75 cents, right? So there you go. So it makes sense that in month number 3, if you have the funds, and only do it again if it's feasible and optimal for your portfolio, because don't risk money that you don't have. Don't risk your rent money. Don't risk your car note money. Don't risk your credit card payments money. Don't risk your debit card money. Um, you got to invest what you think is feasible for you. Figure that increment out. There's ways for you to do it. I usually say you should invest, in my opinion. By the way, this is my opinion. You don't have to listen to this, but in my opinion, I always say that it's great to invest between 10% minimum to 50% of your income every check into something. Doesn't have to be cheap. It could be stocks, it could be crypto, it could be real estate, it could be whatever you think is an appreciating asset, not a depreciating asset. Anything that's going to appreciate over time, you want to put your money into that. So, for the sake of this, we're using crypto because that is the main discussion here. So, if you're going to do crypto, and let's say crypto is your only form of investment, which for me I think that's currently my main form of investment. I'm not sure. I think I have one or two other things, but I think crypto is my main go-to. So typically I won't go as high as 50%, but I may do like 10, 20%. I have done in some months where I'll invest 50% in crypto and I'll just be living like frugal. Like I won't be, getting haircuts. I won't be partying. I won't be going out hanging out with friends. I won't be spending money on BS. Why? Because, yo, I've done that in the past. That doesn't get you nowhere. And we're trying to become millionaires. And not just millionaires, but we're trying to become multimillionaires. In worst case scenario, thousandaires. I want at the bare minimum to one day open up my portfolio and it has 6 or 7 figures. Is that what you want? That's what I want. So a lot of rich people, what they do is they put 50% into investments before they pay any bills, before they pay themselves, and before they allocate any funds anywhere. Why do they do that? They do that because by investing 50% of their income every time they get paid, that's going to keep them in a hustler's like a grind mode type of mentality, because they're like it makes them, even though they're technically not having a scarcity of money, it puts them in a mindset like they have a scarcity of money. And you already know, when you feel like you have a scarcity of money, you're gonna go out there and grind even harder. So it's kind of like a psychological positive mindset, positive reinforcement to get you going, to get you pushing, to get you, to stay motivated. Because a lot of people, they make like 10 grand, they don't get motivated no more, or they make 3 grand, they don't get motivated no more. That's a great way to keep you motivated no matter how much money you make. Let's say you make 10 grand this month and you decided to invest more than 10%. Let's say you go 25% or even 50%, and you made 10 grand this month. That's 2,500 up to 5 grand. It sounds like a lot of money, but guess what? By you taking that huge chunk and putting it into investments and never touching it until, whenever you see profits on it, at least 30% profits or more, and you're just letting it sit there, next month I got to make this 10 grand again, or I got to make 12 grand or 15 grand, or whatever your goal is. It could be a smaller increment. It could be 5 grand, 3 grand, 1 grand, 500 extra a month, whatever it is. um, from a smaller amount to larger amount, the amount doesn't matter. The point is that it creates a positive influence in you because you're creating that self level of scarcity. And I bring that up because if you do that with crypto, what will happen is that as these markets continue to get bullish and boom and grow, by you throwing so much of your investments in there, if you feel comfortable, by the way, because again, I'm not a financial advisor, this is for educational purposes only. But if you feel comfortable doing that, then essentially you may set yourself up for success to make one day a portfolio that's 6, 7, or possibly even 8 figures. Sounds impossible right now, but everything that we've discussed so far in the crypto space, and specifically more so in Shiba Inu, all this stuff seemed impossible. Doesn't seem that impossible anymore. And you got to think about this too. Shiba Inu, if you look at this in an even bigger retrospect, we only have 1.1 million holders. Think about that. We have, let's just talk about United States, because I don't know the populations everywhere else, but let's just take United States. United States has about 320 to 330 million people, or 350 mil, something like that. Think about that for a sec. Out of all those people that we have, I know China, they have more, and other places have more, etc., but they have like 1 billion, of course, in some of these countries, but 330 to 350 million people is still a lot. Think about this. That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's less than 1% is invested in sheep. I can do the math on the calculator right now. Matter of fact, let's do it on the calculator since we have it up now. Check this out. We'll take, and you don't have to use all the zeros to do the math. You can just keep it simple. So let's say you take 1.1, right? Because it's 1.1 million holders. You divide it by, let's say, best case scenario, 350 million people, right? About 330, 350. Look at this. That's not even 1%. That's 0.003. This number right here is 10. This this is the 1. So this, when there's a digit here, that means 10 cents or more. When there's a digit here, is 1 penny or more. This is behind the 1 penny marker. So that is literally a third of a penny. Excuse me, a third of, yeah, a third of a penny. So a third of a percent. So not even a 1% of the population have sheep. And I know that because, we watch YouTube and we watch stuff on Facebook and TikTok and Twitter and all this stuff. We think, yo, the whole world is invested into sheep. So sheep is never going to be, for us, we look at it like, bro, sheep is never going to be worth anything because everybody's in it. Nope, absolutely not. Less than 1% of the population. And by the way, this is just using the US. This is just using the US. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's do this, guys. Let's use the global number and let's see what that's how much percent that is. Check this out. Less than 1%, if we're only counting USA, less than 1% own Shiba Inu. And we'll close it out with this after this one. Check this out. Let's Google real quick how many people on planet Earth. I think it's like 7.7, 7.8 billion. Let's see. I'm going to Google it real quick and then I'm going to switch over so you can see how many people in the world. Sure, you guys already know this number, but I'll Google it just in case if my number is off. Okay, there is the number right there, my friends. There is the number right there. 7.9 billion as of 2022. We used to be at 7.7 for a hot minute. So now we have an additional 200 million people living on Earth. 200 million more people living on Earth. That's more people that own Shiba Inu. All these new people we have on Earth are greater and larger than the amount of Shiba Inu holders. Think about that for a sec. So let's use the full number here. Let's go back to the calculator. Let's go back to the calculator. Let's check this out. You ready? Now we're going to use 7.9 billion as our new target number. So we'll do, get back to this calculator here. So we're going to keep the same figure the same because we only have 1.1 holders. So that's 1 million 100,000 holders. I think it's close to 1.2, but that's 1 million. Matter of fact, to make this look even more legit, let's make it real legit. Let's actually add the zeros in, right? So this is what, 11,000. There's 110. I wish this calculator would show the commas. That would be great. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 point. That should be 1 million, right? 1.1. So 1,100,000. So 1, 2, 3. This would be the thousand, comma here. 1, 2, 3, comma right here. So yeah, that's 1,100,000. Okay. Now let's divide that by 7.9 billion. Check this out. So 7,900,000,000 and 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So before I hit the number, let's make sure. So it's got 1, 2, 3, a comma right here. 1, 2, 3, a comma right here. 1, 2, 3, a comma right here. So yeah, that's 7 billion people. 7,900,000,000 people on Earth. You ready? Watch this. Now, did you notice that not only that the figure changed from a one to from a three to a one, because it was before it was, look, and you guys can see here on the previous one. Look, you see the figure right here. Look, it was 0.00314, right? It went from 0.00314 to 0.00139. So not only the three and the one change places, but look at this. An extra zero was added. Three zeros here, only two zeros here. This number right here is less than 1%. This number right here is less than 0.1%. That's equivalent to 0.1%. That is equivalent. That is, no, wait, hold on. Is that 0.1%? Hold on. Actually, this is 1%. So this would be, so this is equivalent to zero. Let me correct that. So this one right here, if we're doing just USA numbers, this is equivalent to 0.0, no, 0.3%. So yeah, that figure is 0.3%. This one is 0.01%, not 0.01 as a full value, 0.01%, which, as you guys know, the banks, they're paying you less than that in interest. Even though this topic has nothing to do with interest rates or interest, the bank is paying you less than 0.01% if you keep your money in there, which is why you should probably get it into an appreciating asset. Again, not financial advice, but just trying to paint a picture and paint an analogy for you. So, guys, let's bring this back to retrospect. Cost averaging. Do your cost averaging. Make sure that if you're reinvesting, it's going to be less than your highest amount that you've invested, but also make sure that it is under the cost averaging amount. So I showed you the cost averaging amount, how to do that. Now you know how to do that. Now you know how to play it safe. And now you know when the price dips, you know what to do when it dips. If you have, the funds feasible for it. You now know how many people own sheep in the entire world. If we're doing it just by USA numbers, it is less than 1%. If you're doing it by global numbers, it's less than 0.01%. That is a very, very minuscule number. And yet, there is a whole lot of Shiba Inu that is currently being traded and owned. So, less than 1% of people in the US and less than 0.01% globally own Shiba Inu. I mean, do you not think that once that coin knocks out one zero, two zeros, and three more zeros, and it gets closer to that penny mark, don't you think a lot of people are going to want to get in? That's why I'm telling you, you're in early if you're doing your due diligence and you're getting in early. If you decide to get into crypto, real estate, Shiba Inu, whatever. And I like Shiba Inu. I was gonna say I highly recommend, but I can't recommend to you because I can't recommend or suggest what you do with your finances. That's your decision. That's your money. That's your life. You have to do with that as you please. But what I can tell you is that you can make an educated decision based on the math we did today, the cost averaging, and now that we brought it into perspective, that there's less than 1% that own Shiba Inu, not only in the USA, but worldwide on planet Earth globally. Less than 1% own it in the US, and even less than that own it globally. So, not just in the US, but globally, even less than that own it. We did the math. 1.1 million holders out of 7.9 billion people globally. And then if we did just the US, 1.1 million holders out of 350 million. And that's assuming that all the holders are in the US, because we know all the holders are not in the USA, which is why I did the global number. I only did the USA number so you can see that if all the people that own sheep only lived in USA, it's less than 1%. But we can't do it just by that number because we know different people in different countries own it. So I did the global number. Global number is 7.9 billion people, but there's only 1.1 million holders. 1.1 million holders is, it sounds like it's a lot, but when you compare it to 7.9 billion people with a B, that's less than 1% of the population on earth own it. Don't you think that that's going to be a rare commodity as the time goes on, more zeros get knocked out, more sheep get burned, and also as time goes on, where whales continue to swallow up, pause, no pun intended, but they continue to swallow up more and more of the coins? I mean, if you count just the whales alone in Shiba, they own relatively somewhere between 4 to 8 trillion of the coins, maybe even 10 trillion. If you add if you add all the coins up, just the whales, not counting, us, you know, the average Joes, nine to fivers, or any of us who are entrepreneurs, or any of us who any other side hustles, etc. We're just counting just the whales. The whales own somewhere between collectively between all of their coins. If we count just sheep, they have somewhere between 4 to 8 trillion coins currently as we speak, out of the 549 trillion. So if you think about that, bro, like the sheep is actually a lot more of a rare commodity than we think. Like we think, oh, 549 trillion, we're never going to get anywhere. You've seen all the sheep burns. You've seen all the whales, the massive amounts that they're owning. Before you know it, like I said in the last video, not everyone's going to get an opportunity to own sheep. And one day it's going to become such a hot ticket item and such a rare commodity. It's going to be almost like the value of gold. Not that it will be worth, necessarily 1,000 a coin, but that it will be that if you owned a good amount of sheep, and if it went up to at least a penny or even a dollar, that would be equivalent to you like owning a lot of gold. Because if sheep was to hit a dollar and you own, let's say, 20 million sheep, as far as 20 million coins at a dollar a piece, that's $20 million. That's like buying a whole lot of gold or a whole lot of real estate or a whole lot of something that appreciated. You get my analogy, you get what I'm saying? So you gotta think about that. It's huge when you put this into perspective of how many people actually own it versus how many people do not own it and how many coins are burning a day. 200 million coins on average a day, bro. There's nothing else that needs to be said. The proof is in the pudding. Said it before, said it in the past, and I'll say it again. The proof is in the pudding. I showed you the sheep burns. I showed you how the markets are going right now. I did cost averaging for you, and I compared how many current holders we have compared to the current population, which is crazy because we just got another 200 million people, as I stated earlier. We used to be at 7.7 for a while. Now we're at 7.9 billion. So we got 200 million more people on Earth, and barely any of them own Shiba Inu. Insane. Think about that, guys. We are still in the early steps. We are still in the early times to get invested. Again, I am no financial advisor. This is not financial advice. And like I say, past performances are not indicative of future results, outcomes, profits, etc. But do what you can, do what's feasible for you, do what's optimal for your portfolio. If you see the value, then you do what you need to do. If you don't see the value, then you just don't do it. But again, I'm not here to recommend, suggest, convince, none of that. Just showing the value because a lot of people, they tend to kind of like poop on Shiba Inu and Dogecoin because they think these coins are not going to make it happen. Well, lo and behold, it's happening. And while everyone is sitting on their buns and not making anything happen and still having doubts, these coins are starting to rev up again. And these coins are going to make a change. And you know what happens? They say that anytime that there's something that's either in the early stages or relatively new, you can tell because a lot of the big, either whales or governments or industries or corporations, they get into the space very early, even when people have doubts. And then everyone else starts investing when it looks good, and then they leave when it looks a little bad. And then when it gets really good again, they get in when it's good. People always get in when it's already up, when it's on the hype. Very rarely do they buy on the dip, and very rarely do they get into it when it's a scary time, and very rarely do they hold when it's a scary time. So, because of that, that's why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. And we all trying to get rich here. And I want all my followers and fans who believe in me to do the same. That's why I'm just providing educational purposes only. You do with it what you want. But I know what's the smart move for me. Do you know what's the smart move for you? So that's why I say the numbers don't lie. The whales are in. The burns are growing exponentially every day. 200 million a day is crazy, but it's happening. We've got all the proof in the pudding, and sometimes you can show everyone all the proof, and sometimes they'll still doubt it. So, guys, with that being said, I want to thank you so much for tuning in yet again on this video. Appreciate your time so much. Again, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I'm going to take a second to do my usual spiel where I go ahead and show you the channels in the event that you don't have them already. So that way you can get connected. And if you do have some of them but don't have all of them, you can go ahead and get connected as well onto the other platforms in case that the current platforms that you use ever experience any issues, delays, or any setbacks. So here we go. All right, guys. So thank you again so much for your time. You guys have been phenomenal, staying from the beginning to the very end. A huge shout out, which I forgot to do it on the last video. I know I did it on the previous video and other videos prior to this one, but I wanted to give a double shout out because I usually give this shout out at the end, and I always say thank you so much for the individual that follows me on Ola TV official, as well as the best guy in the biz on the Twitch platform. Thank you so much because, especially the one from the best guy in the biz platform, because you've always been loyal since number one, since day one. You always watch my stuff all the time, every time on the Twitch platform. So I appreciate you so much for that, and also for the Ola TV official on that Twitch platform as well. Whomever is on that one, want to thank you as well because ever since I've made that channel, you have also used that Twitch platform and have kept up to date here with the crypto space and of course with some of the other videos. But as you guys know, you guys always watch at least the crypto stuff. So I know that we're doing something good. I know I'm doing something good on this one, reporting it to you guys, giving you the updates, providing you analogies, providing education, providing, different ways to look at things, and just showing you guys the numbers, the facts, and just keeping it, well educated. So I want to thank you so, so much to the individuals following me on Twitch, the best guy in the biz, and the person following me on Ola TV official, also on Twitch. You individuals are great and phenomenal. You always stay from beginning to end. Appreciate you so much. Thank you very much for your time. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. If there's any new videos today, you guys should be alerted. If not, then more than likely you may see another video either tomorrow or the next day. So I know we're getting closer to the end of the week. So if you guys don't happen to catch all the videos, just remember the recaps are available as soon as the broadcast ends. The recaps are always instantly saved. Now, I did notice that on the Twitch platform, it is a little bit different. I'm not sure if the Twitch platform exclusively, saves it. I know that on my YouTube channel, it always saves it there. I know that on my Twitter accounts, they save the recaps instantly, and I know that on my Facebook account, it saves it instantly on the timelines. But for Twitch, I think I went on there once to check both of the channels, and for some reason, it didn't show the recaps. Like it showed the live stream when it was initially available and presented, but once I closed the broadcast out for some reason, Twitch no longer, to my knowledge, I would say it didn't show it. Could be wrong. Maybe I just don't know where to locate the recaps because I don't use Twitch as often other than for live streaming. But I do want to say that if the recaps are there, awesome. If they're not there, guys, and you're on Twitch and you love it and you ever missed an episode, you can always catch it on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But again, if since you guys have been consistent on Twitch and you've always watched it there, if that's your comfortable platform, just continue to watch it from there. Thank you so much again. Appreciate your time again to the viewer, supporter, and fan of mine on the Twitch platform for the best guy in the biz, and also for my supporter, fan, and follower over at the Ola TV official. You guys are always there for me. Um, Sometimes some people jump in and then they leave, but you two are always there for me. So I appreciate the support. So I want to thank you. You're my top two of all time. And thank you for showing the continued support. Appreciate you so much. With that being said, I hope that you have a great rest of your Thursday. If any new information should populate, I'll go ahead and provide that to you regarding crypto. Also, I did do a recent video on NFL regarding the Cleveland Browns becoming a hot ticket market again, with Odell Beckham possibly going there, Baker Mayfield leaving potentially, Deshaun Watson already in motion for signing a contract for 5 years, 230 million, and Amari Cooper coming over from the Dallas Cowboys. So if you missed that and you're into sports, that is also available on all the platforms. And also, if you missed the last two videos, um, I believe the last two videos, or the last three videos, I should say. One of them was me playing a video game app, and then the other two were crypto. If you're more into crypto, you can skip the video game one. Doesn't matter because also essentially the video game one for some reason was having issues with the audio, so it might not even be worth your time to watch that. But if you like seeing some visual and you don't mind watching the visual of me having excitement, I actually showed my face on that screen, and I also showed the visual of the video game as I was beating different bosses, upgrading the weapons, etc. If you're good with the visuals, you can do that. I think it's a 4 hour stream. The first hour and a half or 2 hours is quiet because for some reason the audio wasn't working, and then the next 2 hours the audio jumps in. But you only hear my reactions and excitement. For some reason, you can't hear the game, so I don't know why. But anyways, watch whatever you watch. I appreciate all the support. So whether there's audio issues or not, you know, thank you guys so much. So with that being said, let's go ahead and close it out here. Happy Thursday, guys. Today's March 24th, 2022. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hopefully, I'll have some more information for you guys either Friday or Saturday or possibly Sunday. I'll try to do one or two videos per day, probably one, because two videos or three videos does get a little bit exhausting, especially with other things that I do in between. But I will say this: I enjoy this platform the most. So at least you may see either a video tomorrow and Saturday or a video tomorrow and Sunday. So yeah, expect at least two more videos coming up. If anything else, you'll probably see a video possibly on Monday, the latest. If I don't do anything tomorrow and I don't do anything on the weekend, if I have you know exhaustion kicking in, because yeah, it is pretty exhausting because I do all this stuff on my own. Just to let you know before I cut it off, I set up the equipment myself, the microphone, the connections to the laptop. I do all the like all this artwork here, for example. Let me remove this real quick. This artwork, like this, looks it's like this looks like simple artwork, but this does take time. So even that, sometimes the artwork is like the worst part of it. I don't actually draw it, but I do, use like certain websites and softwares and stuff, and I just make something clean cut, simple, and to the point. So it takes time because I try to make it look different every single video. So think about it. If you're doing at least like lately, I've been doing like what three to five videos a week. So if you're being consistent with videos, it becomes difficult to change it up and have different colors, different background colors, different emojis, etc. So you know, thank you guys. Of course, hopefully you appreciate the artwork as well, because I do take a lot of time to do sometimes the most simplest things. So yeah, I do the artwork myself. I did the logo myself. I did, I'm the one that adds a disclaimer on the bottom myself with a display name where it says Ola TV on the bottom left corner and the banner going across. There's settings for that. So I've got to set that up, microphone settings, visual settings, um, you know, and then of course the main stuff, the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes, pause, no pun intended, but the meat and potatoes of it is getting you guys the information and sharing the websites. So, I click on all the websites, I have them all open, and I'm switching between them as I'm speaking. So if it looks effortless the way I'm switching between websites and simultaneously speaking on the microphone, it's only because of consistency I've been able to be able to have a rhythm with that. And yeah, as you guys notice, for the most part, most of my videos look pretty seamless. It looks like it's effortless. But let me tell you, man, just switching to one website for you, to share it for you and make it look legit on the screen while holding the microphone or having the microphone close enough where I can be able to have my voice amplified. It's that in itself is a lot of work. So imagine doing the setup for the equipment, the artworks, the disclaimers, the captions, the pictures, the logos. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Not that I'm complaining, because I'm not complaining. I enjoy it. I'm just saying that for those of you guys that probably don't know, that's a little insider information that I do this all by myself. It's a one man show. Hopefully it looks nice enough on visuals. Hopefully you guys like the logos and the banners and the emojis and everything. And hopefully you guys appreciate the audio, because I used to use audio with from my Dr. Dre Beats headset, and the audio sounded good. When I would record videos from it, the audio was pretty good actually. People told me it sounded great. But this microphone I'm using now is an actual microphone. So I'm no longer using the built-in microphone from the headphones I've been using for the past, I want to say 30 to 60 days, around 30 to 60 days, 1 to 2 months, I'd say, no more than 3 months. But yeah, for all of 2022, pretty much, or almost all of 2022, the recent videos within the last 1 to 2 months or 2 to 3 months have been with this better microphone. So I tested out sometimes lower, sometimes higher, just to see if the audio, sounds legit and to see if it sounds better for you guys when you're tuning in. So a lot of work goes into it. So thank you so much for your time and your support. I appreciate it. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and go ahead and get plugged into Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. See you guys soon. I know I closed this out already 2 or 3 times, but just wanted to share all the insider information with you as well because you guys are my loyal supporters, especially the two main ones that stay here from the beginning to the end on Twitch and on the Twitch channels. The best guy in the biz has been here since day one, and then the person from Ola TV official has been here for at least a month straight. So thank you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a happy Thursday. And if I don't do any videos today, tomorrow, or Sunday, I hope you have a great and phenomenal weekend. Hopefully, I will give you guys some more updated information if there is new info, within the next 3 days. If there isn't, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday, happy weekend. And we'll see you on Monday if we don't see you, if I don't have any live streams this weekend. So take care. God bless. Be safe. Peace. We'll talk soon.